Talofa, talofa, talofa lava. Tūlou na lava. O le a o le se te whiliina le na aloha. Ne i lo fui o na asa lea o le whaiva o le tau vau. Ai o te seu ma le whae te. Ina ia ulu tonu lupe o tua mawhiri malai. O lea, o te mua i tū li ai ne i tū la whanga. Ma o milosia le tāpisa. A wāpa ia ma mamalu ua malu tau wee nei whungati a sā. Susu lau sunga i taitai o sauninga, lau sunga Ezra whalute. A fio lau a fionga le ministau a onga ta alonga maanga nuu, lau a fionga se ula Ioane. A fio lau a fionga sui ampasa o Amerika i Samoa, lau a fionga no Rico Horiuchi. Susu lau sunga le ofisa sili o whaafuenga o ngā luenga o piskoa, lau sunga Ken Puvek. Susu lau sunga le whaatun sili o ofisa o piskoa i Samoa, lau sunga Jeannie Wilderson. Mā tō te whaafeiloa i atuai, i wō, pāanga, a inga, au mea mamai, a fio mai, susu mai, tala mai au i le whaatautonga o le kulupu iwa tolu o Piskoa, Samoa. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the swearing-in ceremony for Group 93. A special welcome to our guest of honor, La Sunga Bishop Fa'alute, Honorable Minister of Education, Sports and Culture, Honorable Seula Ioane, U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Noriko Horiuchi, Peace Corps Chief of Operation Inter-America and Pacific Region, Mr. Ken Puvik, and Peace Corps Samoa's Country Director, Ms. Jeannie Wilderson. Au le nei taimi e wala au atu mar whaaloalo e lau sunga Bishop Fa'alute e amataina tātou pokalami le nei tai au.
Wā, o seua iai ni mea, e fōa ina atu ia te ili a tite ai o na tele o na mea. A o le, ua le iai ni mea, e wha oa le mea ua iai. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. Tātou talo. Lo mātou tamā pele, mātou te talo atu ia te oe ina ia mafuta loa ngangama i mātou le ne whaatasinga. A wina mailo while mū, a wina maile māla malama ia ua fionga pa ia. E le suafo Iesu. Amen. Se upu wha malosi mo i tātou nei tai au. No maua mai lea i le whaata oto le li whaola. O lo iai le mātai o i lua sfun man lima o lona whai upu e sfun man whaa se i o le toru sfun. O le a fofonga i nātu i le whaaperitania i na ia launga tasia i le au whaafonga. In the Gospel of Matthew in the New Testament of the King James Version of the Holy Bible, in its 25th chapter, I have selected some verses, beginning from the verse 14 to verse 30, to be our spiritual thought this morning. For the kingdom of heaven is likened to a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that hath received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that hath received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. The same was with the servant he gave to. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee, that thou art a hard man. And I was afraid, and I went and hid thy talent in the earth. And the Lord said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. As we approach the conclusion of this wonderful Peace Corps Samoa pre-service training for Group 93, it is timely to ask what we are going to strive to become, not only as volunteers, but for each and everyone here today, in whichever field and wherever we are working on. With these beautiful verses in mind, I am reminded of how our Father in heaven has blessed us with many blessings and gifts, and how he urges us to use and utilize them in the best of our abilities. It is also noted that the God Almighty in whom we serve thus prefers and invites those that utilizes what is given to them much, much more than those that are afraid to work, afraid of taking risks, afraid of walking that extra mile to do better. We are accountable for how we use what we have received. For whom much is given, much is required. This eternal principle applies to all we have been given. In the parable of the talents, the Savior taught this principle with reference to the use of property. The principle of accountability also applies to the spiritual, physical, emotional, and many other resources we have been given and the precious hours and days allotted to each of us during our time in mortality. Because of increased life expectancies and modern times devices, most of us have far more discretionary time than our predecessors. We are accountable for how we use that time. The significance of our increased discretionary time has been magnified many times by modern data retrieval technology. For good or for evil, devices like the internet and the compact disc have put our fingertips and at an incredible inventory of information, insights, and images. Along with fast food, we have fast communication and fast facts. With greatly increased free time and vastly more alternatives for its use, it is prudent to review the fundamental principles that should guide our choices. Temporal circumstances change, but the eternal laws and principles that should guide our choices never change. We have thousands of times more available information than Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln. Yet, which of us would think over ourselves 1,000 times more educated or more serviceable to our fellow men than they? The sublime quality of what these two men gave to us, including the Declaration of Independence and the Gettysburg Address, was not attributable to their great resources of information, for their libraries were comparatively smaller by our standards. Theirs was the wise and inspired use of limited amounts of information. Available information wisely used is far more valuable than multiplied information allowed to lie fallow. A homely story contains a valuable lesson. I like this story because it translates easily into several and many languages and cultures. Two men form a partnership. They built a small market beside the road. They obtained a truck and drove it to a farmer's field, where they purchased a truckload of melons for $1 a melon. They drove the loaded truck to the market by the road, where they sold their melons for $1 a melon. They drove back to the farmer's field and brought another truckload of melons for $1 a melon. Just transporting them back to the roadside, they again sold them for $1 a melon. As they drove back toward the farmer's field to get another load, one partner said to the other, "We're not making much money on this business, are we?" "No, we're not," his partner replied. "Do you think we need a picker truck. We don't need a picker truck load of information either. Like the two partners in the story, our biggest need is a clear focus on how we should value and use what we already have. I hope that these cautions on the need for focus will not be understood as hostile to selective use of new technology that has put such a wealth of information on our fingertips. With this, I echo Brigham Young, who declared, "Every discovery in science and art that is really true and useful to mankind has been given by direct revelation from God." We should take advantage of all these great discoveries and give to our children the benefit of every branch of useful knowledge, to prepare them to step forward and efficiently do their part in the great work of helping create a better world. Close quote. O a mea ua whamanui na i tātou e le atua. Tātou ngā lulue ina i ati nae ma ia whaalau te lina. A wā le tūla whono lea le atua. Ngā lue, ngā lue, ngā lue. O mea uma o ia iov. O a ia ia. Ma ua ia whawai mai a te i tātou. Ina ia tātou ngā lue ina ma whaatele ina. Ono toi whaafo i atu lea ia te ia o lo tātou atua. Ina ia maua lunga i pēa lona vi inga. O te whia iai lava i le nā taimi o le a whetalai mai iai le whaola. Ua le lei lau ngā lue. Le au auna le le ie ma le whaamaoni. Ua e whaamaoni nai mea iti. O le a o tō whia oe te pule i mea tele. I nā ulu whale mai ai le whia o lo wali. To our soon-to-be sworn-in volunteers, good luck, and I wish you all the best as you embark to serve the people of Samoa. God bless your good deeds and spirits. Whamanuia le atua I le au fia le nei taia. O lo so I fua lo tātou atua. Ma lona alo I Yesu Keriso lo tātou whaola. Ma e alo lofa I la ua I a te tātou. I le suafa Yesu Keriso. Amen. O le alangi ina le vi inga le atua. E le au whai pesa piskoa. Talo atu le au fia tātou soswani e le langina o le vi inga. Our opening of our soon-to-be volunteers will sing our opening hymn with the assistance of everyone here. And our opening prayer will then be offered by Rosa Torti. And at the conclusion of this swearing-in ceremony, Perla Saole will offer a benediction. Opening hymn.
Glory Le atua lo matou tama alofa e te silafia mea uma I le langi whaapea fo'i I le nei lalolangi. Ua matou whawhetai atu I lo alofa tele mai ua iu manuia ailo matou tamawhai. Ua matou talitono e matou te le mawhaia lava se mea e tasi petai I lo alanga. Pa ia sa taitai ma tautau luaina lo matou vai ua ae ai ma le manuia o matou whaiva sa wheangai. Whawhetai I le ofisa pisikoa ai mai se o matou whaiaonga ona o avanoa ua matou mawa e auina. Ai le ngangana mo le ngaluenga ua whaamoemoe I ai mo le lua tausanga o lumanai. Whawhetai ua manuia I matou uma ua aufia mai I le nei aso whaapea fo'i o matou ainga uma o loo tapuai mai I Amerika. Whawhetai ua manuia le malo o Samoa ma ona tangata ia viia pea lo suafa I le whaavauvau ona o lo alofa ma lo whaamaoni. Whaamangalo mai ia I matou uma ona o a matou angasala ma ni o matou leanga. Whaamole whaamangalo matou e ala I le toto pa ia o Yesu Keriso lo matou whaola ai ua matou o le atu tama ina ia e alofa ma whaamanuia mai I matou uma ua poto nei. Whaamanuia I le awhionga I le minista o aonga ma le malo o Samoa whaapea le malo o Amerika ma le ofisa o pisikoa. Ia e alofa fo'i ma whaamanuia ma ia I matou o pisikoa ua whaatautoina. I le nei asomo le ngaluenga o le whengai ai mo le lua tausanga. Ia maua pea le malosi ma le fiafia e tautua mo aonga tulanga lua o le ngalu lue ai ina ia manuia ma popoto whanau a Samoa ai tele ai se viinga o oe lo matou tama silisili ese o la matou tatalo lea e ala atu I le suafa pele o Yesu lo matou alii ma le whaola. Amene.
E wala o le taimile nei e wala au atua I ma le whaalo alo I lau awhionga se ula Ioane mo lau saunoanga whapatua.
O le ta whai maa pēr ia le tama loa na liu whatu le ala taua. Ma ta oto pēr whaamaene o tailo loto sā ma whai ngā o Samoa. E whainga tā o Samoa o le atu nuu, whai mai e mamala, ma toe mamana. O pa ia o ta oto ai o se ala wao, o le o ngā sami foi e le whaangota sā ngole iai se tasi, pe fia utu vai tofo fo iai se tasi, e le ma whai foi na toli niu fiti iai se whai la unga. O na iei leo le vai inga, ta alolo ia sā ma whai ngā, e le anga I le ngawha tauli maina, wha matu o whaiva, I le leo vai o le matanga luenga wa onga, ma ngā nuu nei tae au. Tulolo sunga le taitai o le sauninga, ai ua wha maa lol tapena, le au o maa ea toto le niu le tua oi, ma la lafo taulai maa lolo, a wale va tapuia ma le atua silsili ese, maa lo fai o le faiva. Ona wha pēr leo se leo, tau wha malie mautanga lo loto le mamalu wa tawe nei, ona o le tūlanga o le nei sauninga, ona wha pēr lea, E le o se vaai whaatau waa i la tātou ngangana. Ai au lava o na fua le tā i le tea. Ma pāe toso i le mafua lii o le tāe au. Tapo ai maia se iau whaonga ina le tātou ngangana lo na lua e tau mawhai eise whaamatalanga. Mr. Tanwasa Ezra Falute, whom have presented ourselves to our Almighty God through our opening prayer for blessings, guidance and protection, who is also the Peace Corps Programming and Training Assistant. Your Excellency Noriko Horiuchi, the Charity Affairs, U.S. Embassy in Samoa. Mr. Ken, Peace Corps Chief Operations, Inter-America and Pacific Region. Ms. Kenny Wilderson, a Country Director, Peace Corps Samoa. Ms. Anita Tuatangaloa, Peace Corps Training Manager. Mr. Falava'au Malcolm, Tauina Ai, Program Manager. The most beautiful ladies and handsome gentlemen of the 93rd Group of Peace Corps volunteers to Samoa. Government officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Group 93, you're so lovely today. Beautiful, Puletasi Samoa. Nice to see you. Gentlemen, you're used to that colorful Samoan lava and t-shirt. God bless you. This gives me immense pleasure, and I'm most pleased to speak on behalf of the government of Samoa to convey our most sincere and heartfelt gratitude to the government of the United States of America for the endless and most vulnerable support they had been provided for more than 5 consecutive decades in our education system and other ministry through this program known as Peace Corps Volunteers in Samoa. We are here today to witness the swearing-in ceremony of the 93rd Group of Peace Corps since the volunteers were first introduced into our country in 1967. It has been 56 years of partnership to the government of Samoa has had with Peace Corps, and nearly 2,000 volunteers have now served in our beautiful country. How about a round of applause to mark this long journey of friendship between our countries through this program? Thank you. The Peace Corps Volunteer program had played a vital role right from the late 60s up till now, and had helped a lot with the development of English literacy in leveraging innovative techniques to ensure no students' literacy skills fall behind. Since the start of the Peace Corps Volunteer Program, Samoa primary school students had a real taste of real foreigners to actually teach a foreign language in rural schools, and had developed so much for them in terms of first-hand learning from native English speakers who worked so instill a love of reading and writing. As English is the focal point for the voluntary program, social and cultural values are emphasized, as well as a two-way cultural exchange. Some exchanges went as far as marriage, culture, families. This is not in my scripture, but I want to share with you some. In 1969, a Peace Corps volunteer was hosted in my village, Tuftafoy, Hawaii. The family that hosted Peace Corps had a baby born in that time. And they named that little boy Frank by the name of the Peace Corps. So Frank is now teaching in New Zealand as a teacher. But I want to tell you this too. Frank is the first ever Peace Corps who wear a full-size tattoo, so ngai miti, in Samoa. So he goes down deeper enough and touches the pain of culture in Samoa. So thank you for that. Some Peace Corps had developed families with Samoan, and their children are well off in terms of best educators with top jobs in Samoa. Another story. A Peace Corps married a teacher, a principal, then a school inspector. Now that couple has a first child as a principal of the highest college in Samoa, Samoa College. The little sister now works as a principal advisor to Our Lady Prime Minister now in Samoa. Why not give a clap? It's a big show. For those who will be sworn in today, I could not thank you enough for your determination, unity, and solidarity in this friendship with our government has established 56 years ago. Congratulations on your incredible desire to serve Samoa. We are so proud to welcome you all in our workforce and offered our congratulations on this Peace Corps volunteer service milestone. Looking forward for the best combination of talents, skills, and attitude that may add up for a great performance for the success of our students in schools where you will be working at. Best of luck to everyone, and God bless you. Faftai, soifua. Right.
It is my privilege to give a brief report on Peace Corps Samoa's pre-service training for Group 93. Group 93 is the second group of volunteers Peace Corps Samoa welcomed this year. This group, which consists of 11 members, arrived in Samoa on July 10th. After having the first 4 days of PSC in Apia, Group 93, as well as the training staff, left for Mulifanua, where the rest of the 11 week of PSC took place. Trainees are assessed through a volunteer competency model throughout Peace Corps, throughout pre-service training. And PST consists of 4 major components, which is standard throughout Peace Corps worldwide. The 4 components are language and culture training, which also includes integration into a local community, medical, safety and security, technical or teacher training. In language and culture training, the trainees learn Ngangana Samoa or Samoan language and Fa'a Samoa or the Samoan way of life through formal and informal classes led by the LCFs, as well as the guided self-directed learning. Trainees learn to integrate into the local community while staying with the Samoan host families. In 11 weeks of PSC, the trainees also participated actively in church activities, as most of us may have observed, while most use their spare time to bond with host families and community members. In medical and safety and security training, the trainees learned how to stay safe and healthy in Samoa through formal classes that were spread out through the 11 weeks of PSC. In technical training, the trainees had the opportunity to practice their skills and knowledge in teaching in a 2-week teaching practicum, which took place in Mulifanua, Manonouta, and Fastouta primary schools. The trainees had the opportunity to observe a Samoan teacher in the classroom and visited libraries. And so, today, at the end of an 11-week intensive pre-service training, these beautiful 10 individuals are looking forward to go to their permanent sites and start putting what they have learned in training to good use. I would now like to take the time to thank and acknowledge the contribution and the support of the following people. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our host community, Mulifanua, host families, and village members who have hosted us back-to-back pre-service training since February and July. Susu lau sunga po'oli, su lau soali'i, susu le alo mali etua, susu fo'i le ainga le whaatei, a fio lau a fionga le tapa au, ala la ta'i le malu ia ati ma lau tolo. Mai le taele o le anganga, e avea ai lo leo whaatau waa, e whai mafunga tau moli o le pulenga a le ofisa, e wha leo ina tuai le anganga whawhitai, i le awhia o anga ai maisele mamalu ma le paia o le komiti atina i whailo loo i Mulifanua, whaapea ma atua ma a inga o pisikoa. Whaafetai tele le anga alofa, whaafetai le whaatupu, whaafetai le tali malo, ua o tauti mu ia malaina ma ngā pātia o no lo titi whaitama. O upe whai le whaiva o ngā taifale, e le ai lava se whaiva e asam se mau mau. E mo moli atu waivai mā lui puenga, o le a se sasi, a se aleu a le neipol kalame le awhioanga tō whamalie, e mua le vao i o mātou tangata, o le mātou tatalo. Ia alofa le atua ma whaatutumu mea ua whaangaungaoina o nai mātou. I would like to express my appreciation to Peace Corps Samoa's team, hardworking team. You have put in long hours and weekends away from your own families in order to prepare this group to serve in their communities for the next 2 years. You have started the ripple that will positively affect so many people around this country, many of them the most vulnerable and the most in need of our efforts. A special thanks and a big famalo to the language and culture facilitators, programming, medical, safety and security, and last but not the least, our admin team. The successful completion of this training would not have been possible if it weren't for your help and support. Thank you for all your hard work, patience, and putting up with me in the past 11 weeks. I am confident to say that together we have achieved the main purpose of PST 93, which is to prepare these 10 amazing individuals for their 2-year service in Peace Corps Samoa. And finally, congratulations, 10 members of Group 93. So you have successfully completed PST. It wasn't easy, but you've worked hard, persevered, and stayed consistent. You have all done very well. Today marks the end of one chapter of your lives and the beginning of the next. The work that you are about to do is very important, and I hope that you take pride in it. As you prepare to go out there and serve the people of Samoa, I hope you serve with your hearts. And so, without further ado, Ms. Jeannie Wilderson, Peace Corps Samoa Country Director, I am happy to announce that these 10 trainees have fulfilled and completed all requirements and qualification criteria of Peace Corps Samoa's Pre-Service Training 93. And on behalf of the training staff, I highly recommend that these 10 individuals be sworn in as Peace Corps volunteers to serve in Samoa for 2 years as English literacy teachers. Soifua Maia Manuia. I would like to call upon Peace Corps Samoa's Country Director, Ms. Jeannie Wilderson, for your remarks and training acceptance.
Honorable Minister, U.S. Chargé d'Affaires, government partners, esteemed guests, poules, host families, Peace Corps staff, Peace Corps volunteers, and friends, Thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. We're honored that you're here. Group 93, today is your day. An historic day as the second group of volunteers to arrive in Samoa following the 3-year absence due to the global pandemic. I know that many of you waited patiently during those years to begin your Peace Corps journey. Already you have demonstrated a strong aspiration to serve, the desire to learn, a glass half full attitude, and the desire to make the world a better place. Thank you for making the decision to apply this desire to serve with the Peace Corps in Samoa. And thank you for the huge effort you had put into your pre-service training. 11 weeks of learning the Samoan language, learning how to apply your professional teaching expertise in the Samoan context, and becoming familiar with the Samoan way of life. Seeing your energy, curiosity, and enthusiasm, I have no doubt you can succeed. I have just a couple of thoughts as you begin your next steps. As you know, Peace Corps is here in Samoa to serve the needs of the government of Samoa. Your group has been asked to work with the Ministry of Education, who has been a strong partner for many, many years, to support students, teachers, and schools in developing their English literacy capacity. During your 2 years in Samoa, you will make many contributions. But while you will be contributing a great deal, you'll also be gaining a great deal. While you are teaching the joys of literacy to your students and your counterparts will be teaching you about Samoa and the way of life here. While you work together with your communities on projects, your communities will be sharing with you the incredible generosity that is such a vibrant part of the Samoan spirit. You have so much to give, but there is also so much that you will receive. While your family and friends in America are far away, you will make many new friendships here in Samoa, some of which will last a lifetime. When you leave Samoa in 2 years, I hope that it will be with a great sense of accomplishment, knowing that you have done your very best. But I know it will also be with sadness to say goodbye to your Samoan friends and family. Remember that we come here not to save the day, but to learn as we share what we know. As you head out to your communities to begin the work you were brought here to do, remember to observe, to ask questions, and most importantly, to listen. Remember to laugh and keep your sense of humor alive and well. Nurture your optimism. Don't sweat the small stuff. In addition to the triumphs, you will also face challenges during your service. It is with optimism, patience, and resilience that you and your communities will support each other to find solutions to those challenges. You are joining a proud tradition of Peace Corps volunteers who've successfully served in Samoa for more than 56 years, who have played a significant role in the success of many of our Samoan partners, and who served as a daily inspiration to the students who look up to them as role models. When you run into roadblocks that seem too big, when you're tired and a bit discouraged, think about what has been said about Peace Corps volunteers. We are not just dreamers, we are dreamers who do. We don't take the easy path. We don't focus on ourselves. We look beyond our personal concerns. We use our Peace Corps ingenuity to innovate and create new possibilities. It has also been said that when the winds blow, the pessimist complains, the optimist expects it to change, the realist adjusts the sails, and the Peace Corps Samoa volunteer appreciates the cool breeze. It has been a pleasure getting to know you, and I look forward to working with you these next 2 years as we accomplish our mission in Samoa. With that, I declare you eligible and ready to serve. Fa'amalo Group 93, Manuia lo o tuo, na luenga, Mo le isi lua tausanga. Soifua.
I would like to invite U.S. Shashidi Affairs in Apia, or in Samoa, for your remarks, oath, and pledge to service.
Talofa, everybody. Talofa. Honorable Minister of Education, Sports, and Culture, Seula Ioane, representatives of the Samoan government, Peace Corps staff and trainees, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and dear friends. Talofa again. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the swearing-in ceremony for the 93rd group of Peace Corps volunteers to serve Samoa. It is an honor and privilege to stand before you representing the United States as we welcome these exceptional individuals into a long-standing tradition of partnership and friendship. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge and commend the exceptional warmth and hospitality that the government and the people of Samoa have extended to Peace Corps volunteers throughout the 56 years of partnership. The strong bond between our two countries is firmly grounded in the genuine kindness and generosity exhibited by the Samoan community towards the Peace Corps since the first volunteers arrived in Samoa in 1967. Samoa and the United States share rich heritage and an unyielding commitment to community and education. Our two countries both have recognized the transformative power of education in uplifting individuals and societies. Through community engagement and educational initiatives, the Peace Corps has been an instrumental force in bridging the gap between our cultures and further strengthening our ties. As we swear in the new group of volunteers, reflect on the past achievements, and look forward to the future, we are reminded that our shared culture and interests serve as the foundation for the collaborative work undertaken by Peace Corps volunteers in Samoa. Together, we can continue fostering positive change, sustainable development, and mutual respect between our two nations. The Peace Corps' three primary goals: to help the people of Samoa meet their need for trained men and women, to promote a better understanding of Americans on the part of Samoans, and to promote a better understanding of Samoans on the part of Americans, remain as relevant today as they did back in 1961 when U.S. President John F. Kennedy established the Peace Corps. Right there. To the 93rd group of Peace Corps volunteers in Samoa, I want to congratulate you on your tremendous achievement and commend your dedication to service. As you commence this new phase in your lives, I encourage you to wholeheartedly embrace the forthcoming challenges with open hearts and open minds. Be mindful that the connections you forge, the wisdom you impart, and the experiences you generate will leave a lasting imprint on both the communities you aid and your own personal growth. Remember that our presence here today is not merely here to consolidate the great work of your predecessors, but to build upon it. You are now entrusted with the vital task of forging lasting relationships, nurturing the minds, and amplifying the impact of Peace Corps in Samoa. Your commitment and sacrifice shall undoubtedly shape the lives of many, leaving an indelible legacy of friendship, knowledge, and progress. In closing, let us remember that our presence here today is a testament to the power of human connection, to the ability of people from different backgrounds and cultures to come together in pursuit of a common goal. May the spirit of peace, love, and friendship that has brought us to this moment continue to guide our efforts as we work together towards a brighter future for Samoa and the world. Thank you, Fa'afetai Telelava, and may the bonds between our two nations continue to grow stronger as the years to come. I state your name, do solemnly swear. Louder, okay. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
Yes, second one. Part 2. Peace Corps, Samoa, pledge to service. I, state your name, promise to serve alongside the people of Samoa.
I, Lieutenant Colonel, serve alongside the people of Samoa.
I promise to foster an understanding of the people of Samoa
I promise to foster an understanding of the people of Samoa
with curiosity, cultural sensitivity, and respect.
with curiosity, cultural sensitivity, and respect.
I promise to keep an open mind and open heart,
I promise to keep an open mind and open heart,
and to seek out the bonds of friendship, community, and collaboration.
and to seek out the bonds of friendship, community, and collaboration,
Both with my Samoan community and with my Peace Corps colleagues.
both with my Samoan community and my Peace Corps colleagues.
I will face the challenges of service with patience,
I will face the challenges of service with patience,
humility, and determination.
humility, and determination.
I will try to the best of my ability
I will try to the best of my ability
to live up to the highest standard
to live up to the highest standards
of honesty, integrity, and dedication.
of honesty, integrity, and dedication.
I will embrace the mission of world peace and friendship
I will embrace the mission of world peace and friendship
for as long as I serve and beyond.
for as long as I serve and beyond.
In the proud tradition of Peace Corps' legacy
In the proud tradition of Peace Corps' legacy,
and in the spirit of the Peace Corps family past, present, and future,
in the spirit of the Peace Corps family, past, present, and future,
I promise to fulfill my duties as a Peace Corps volunteer.
I promise to fulfill my duties as a Peace Corps volunteer.
Congratulations.
Taylor, heads it down. Ai wala awas mane whalo alo I le sungea whalava au Malcolm Tauna ai, Program Manager, mo le whala wilo ina o kulupu I watonu.
Ia, malole, soifua ni vanga ta nani tai au. Hey, hey! Hey, hey! Before I introduce our volunteers for Group 93, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister of Education, Sports and Culture, Lo Fionga Seulayane, U.S. Sache, Lo Fionga Noriko, and Peace Corps Samoa Country Director, Lo Fionga Jeannie Vincent, if you could please present our certificates for volunteers. Uptight. Group 93, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Volunteers, Peace Corps volunteers for Group 93 2023. Annette Faleopolu Young, Samoan name, Polu. Another round of applause. Brianna Yanez, Samoan name, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Lazaro Kenata, Samoan name, Lasalo. Right. Megan Leilua Tang Western. Samoa name Leilua. Right. Lucas Champion. Samoa name Luca. Thank you, big man. Merone Getahon. Samoa name Mona. Time Mona. Monica Shoji. Samoa name Miriama. Time Monica. Perla Saole. Samoa name Bella. Bella. Rochelle George. Samoa name Lina. Lina. And lastly, Rose Todi. Samoa name Rosa. Tai Rosa, another round of applause for Mumuli, Pat Mai, ni Tata Wayangan niya. Pat sa sila lang, Bokyo. Group 93. As a Samoan, I thank you for choosing Samoa for your assignments. Really much appreciate your selection of choosing Samoa. As an educator, the schools that you're going to work at are very lucky to have you, and that's a fact. Me as a Samoan and as an educator, much appreciate you choosing Samoa to complete your assignments. Thank you for doing that. So before I finish up my line or my cue, I would like to acknowledge the assistant of our Ministry of Education during the last 10 weeks. We'd like to thank the Ministry of Education, Sport and Culture for permitting us to use school facilities, to use conference rooms in order for us, to prepare us for the long journey for the next 2 years. Please give a clap for the Ministry of Education. And today, we have two lovely ladies, our people of contact down at the ministry. Please give a clap for Fionga Tauti, Jenny Lawano, and also Bernice Stowers. Thank you for your support. These two lovely ladies have made everything for us move smoothly. So again, give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much. And to finally, as your PM, not the Prime Minister, your program manager, as your program manager, you will be my responsibility for the next 2 years. And as a Samoan, as an employee of the Peace Corps office here in Samoa, I promise you this. I will do my very best to follow policy and protocol to give you that support so that you will be able to complete your assignment after the next 2 years. And that's a promise. I leave you with this common saying that I also left it with the previous group. O tō mā mana. O tō mā mana. Roughly translated, you've got this. You've got this. God bless you, Group 93. Whakatau.
Today is a very special day, and we have here with us a representative from our headquarters, and I kindly invite Peace Corps' Chief of Operation for Inter-America and Pacific Region, Mr. Gian Povek, for his remarks.
Honorable Minister, Charge d'Affaires for the United States, Country Director, really honored and delighted to be here with all of you today. There have been so many beautiful words, I don't know what to add to this, but I will say a few words on behalf of the Pacific Post in general. I've had the great fortune to have visited Tonga and Fiji and now Samoa. Somebody might say that I saved the best for last. I can't say that because I get myself in trouble with our other country programs. So I won't say that. I might feel that, but I won't say that. I've been with Peace Corps for a long time, nearly 30 years. I started as a Peace Corps volunteer in Africa. I spent 15 years in Africa as a staff member, country director. That was my world. That was my Peace Corps world. And then in 2009, I got a call out of the blue from our Europe, Mediterranean, and Asia region asking me if I'd be interested in going to Indonesia. I called my wife. I said, "What do you think?" She said, "Yes." Off we went to Indonesia. I spent roughly the last 15 years, or a good portion of the last 15 years, working in our Europe, Mediterranean, and Asia posts, and got to see all that part of the world. And then just within the last 9 months, I joined the Inter-America and Pacific region. I can't say that I saved the best for last, because that would get me in trouble with the other regions, but I might think it. What I found when I first started and what I heard was that this was a very special part of the world. And I didn't know what that meant, honestly. But now, having been here over the last few weeks, I can see what people are talking about. This is a very special part of the world. I like to think, and I talk about the soil of Peace Corps and the soil of the posts we live in. And what I mean by the soil is the relationships and partnerships that exist between Peace Corps volunteers and the people of the host country, in this case Samoa. And I just think the development soil here is as good as I've ever seen in my lifetime with Peace Corps. It's something we need to nurture, that we need to build on, and I know and I'm confident that Group 93 will build upon the tradition of all the volunteers who've come before. So with that, I will close.
Type. At this time, I'd like to invite volunteer Leilua as representative of Group 93 for your speech.
Tai au manuia, e momoli atu le anganga whaawhetai tele I lawa fionga I le minisita o aonga ta alonga maanga nuu lawa fionga Seula Ioane. Whaapea lawa fionga I le minisita lango lawa fionga I le ofisa sili o ngā luenga mo le wala auliaina I o matou. Tatote ngā lulue whaatasi a wā le whaaleleia o le whaitautusi a alo ma whanau Samoa. E mua ona mato whaawhetai I le awhioanga o moli whanua ai maise o mato a inga mo le sefulu tasi vai aso o le PST. Whaawhetai fo'i I awhioanga ma a inga mo le tali leleia o mato tangata awale la mato ngā luenga mo le lua tausanga. Whaawhetai fo'i I awhionga I pule aonga ma whai aonga o aonga uma I le taliaina o la mato whesoa soani mo alo ma whanau o aonga uma o le a mato ngā lulue ai. Whaawhetai whaapitoa mo le ofiso pisikoa whaapea a inga uma sa anga lelei I a te I mato ai whaasili ai I le whaawhetai le atua le tama I lona anga lelei ma lona puipuinga au mato I ai Samoa nei. O mato pisikoa e tele ni vaenga taua mato te mana nao e whaasoa atu mo whanau Samoa. O nisi vaenga e whaasoa atu ai e ala lea I aoaonga o le whesoo tainga I le anga nuu ma le anga I whanua. Mato te fia fo'i e whaaoa o le anga nuu Samoa. E se uma tō mai ma ngā waa ua iai pisikoa ai ua tasi lava le whaanau tainga ina ia atinae e whaitautusi ma le tusi o alo ma whanau a Samoa I le nei lua tausanga. I le whaanga solonga o le nei sefulu tasi vai aso sa tele mea taua ua mawhaiona mato a oa oina e au fia ai le anga nuu wha Samoa ma le ngangana mai whai aonga ai maise fo'i ainga mai kalesia. E ui I le tele o luitau ma whaingata sa wheangai mai tatou o le kulupu iwa sefulu tolu petai sa whaaalia le onosai malo tatou malo sianga malo tatou tuto atu ma ngai I luma. O se mea lea e tatau ona tatou mita ai. Ino ua wha mai aina le sefulu tasi vai aso o le polo kalame wha masani ma o le a matai le ngā luenga na mafua ai ona tatou o mai Samoa. O te wha manuinga o au auna ai I Samoa ma mato tali sa paia le nei avanoa. Ua tupu le alofa I o mato loto mo le nei atu nuu ma lana anga nuu ma waia le naunau tainga e whesoasoani ma au auna ai I mato ainga ma nuu fo o ni pisikoa o le kulupu iwa sefulu tolu. Whaawhetai lava soifua maia manuia le aso.
All right, I guess this is a very special part. I know everybody's been waiting for this moment. At this time, I'd like to invite Group 93 onto the stage for your performance. Walau atu. Walau atu mai whaaloalo i le tamaitai piskoa i a Perla, mo le tātou whaiwina o tātou por kalame le nia, so i se talu.
Whawhatai, lo mātou, tā mā. Ona o lo, whaatasi mai i lenei aso. Ua whai uina, ai i le manuia lenei sau nainga. Alofa mātausi mai i mātou uma, pea mātou tāpe. Leo leo ina lo mātou ola vai vai i o a au whaaola. Whaalau lau awala. Uma o le a mātou uina. Ma aia mātou tau nuu. I ainga ma o mātou nuu. Tu mau mai ia i mātou. Ne ma o tanata. Whaatuatua umalo manuia le atua le tama. Le alofa sili sili ese o isuu. I o mātou ali'i. Me la whau tanata le mai vai malo anga. Paai ne ma ia o atu i le whaavau lava. Amene.
Ia, malo lava whawhatai. Whamai ina tatou po kalame a ele i Whamae ina. O le e wala awa tu ma le whaaloalo i le laua fionga le minista o a onga ta alonga mga nuu and Ms. Jeannie Wilderson for our cake cutting to officially celebrate our Group 92 swearing in. Three, sorry. Tight. Malo lava ia e avea ia lo nei tangata whatau waa e moli atu ai le nganga whaafitai ma le fia ua whaamaya ina le nei whai wina fo'i le nei wha moe o a tātou whanau pis kua kulupu i watolu. Ia manu te le ina le nei aso ma ona taulumanga wha manuia le atua e toe tali watu i a inga ma alala whanga o au ma wai. Thank you for coming today, and we invite you to our refreshments on the right side. For our special guests, we kindly invite you guys to the front of the stage for our official photo.